Hello everybody. So I made a video some time ago about my medals and orders collection, which was on the wall. So I'm using my kid's bedroom with Edward the cat making an appearance, of course. And this room doesn't really have a whole lot of lighting, so I'm using GoPro's little light, and obviously Edward is always here. So this will be my first series, well, my kind of first in the series of actually opening up these shadow boxes that I have on the wall. And if you're curious about it, check out a previous video. I'm going to put a link in the description. And I don't remember where I bought these, whether it was Michael's or some other hobby store, but basically you buy these shadow boxes. These little mounts, I bought them separately from like Walmart, so I just nailed them in. But you basically have a glass front, and you can kind of see the layer of dust that accumulated over the years. And then it comes with this cardboard backing. Now, the cardboard backing, before I go to any further, it's just black. But when I was deciding, like, how in the world am I going to mount these things? Because some of them have, like, wing screws type of deal. You can kind of see it right here. And primarily, these are for orders. And I'm going to tell you the difference between, in the USSR, between a medal and an order. And then some of these, like, don't even have anything. Oh, well, like, the rest of them have, like, these, like, needles type of deal that you would pin on your jacket. And a few of these, like this one right here, doesn't have anything. So I was like, well, how in the world am I going to do this? So I put just a black piece of thick construction paper over it, and I kind of stapled these. Oh, now Edward the cat wants to get out. So I kind of made another layer of material between the thick cardboard and the back end of it. And obviously this is way too heavy to hang off of this, and this is why I used these types of mounts. And I just put 2 nails in the wall, and that's how they've been holding. So it's an interesting opportunity for me to look at this, and this is going to be a series of videos. So obviously I have way too many for one video, and I'm going to split them up, and I'm going to try to put them in between the car videos. So for those of you that liked it, and actually I'm surprised I got some more views on this video than I did on some of my car stuff. So who knew? So in any case, so just so that you know, I'm not a super serious collector. I know that even on this thing right here, there's several duplicates, replicas, fake medals, and fake orders. I know that. And some of these things I bought knowing that they're not the real deal. They don't belong to one person. I do have a collection that will be in a later video that did belong to one person, but these were bought either as a single standalone or as part of a set. And I've kind of grouped them to make at least some sense for it, right? And in case if you hear a baby in the background, that comes from a different room, but trust me, mom is right there, so don't you worry. I'm not abandoning my child to make these videos. In any case, let's start with the basics. So what is the difference between a medal and an order? In the USSR, this is what I do know. I'm not an expert, like I said. If you guys, if there's some serious collectors watching, by all means comment, ask questions, correct me if I'm wrong, because all my stuff came from just reading a few books and doing some Google searches, and I'm attracted to the shiny stuff. So anyway, so from what I know, the difference between a medal, something like this, that you would, think of a medal, medals are more basic. A lot more people have medals versus what's called an order. So in Russian, a medal is called medal. And this could be for civil stuff, for military stuff, for research and development, for a lot of different things. USSR was very big on awarding its citizens with medals and orders instead of actually paying them well. And the funny thing is that some of these things, especially, I do have a whole thing of these with like civil things, like for civil achievements. And it's funny for me, it's like, well, they weren't really paying their scientists a lot, so a lot of them escaped. But they were giving them all kinds of anniversary medals and this and orders for this and invention instead of actually paying them like well. So in any case, so, and then the next level is an order, which is the highest level. So this would be stuff like this. And the funny thing is, like, you look at it and you'd be like, well, it kind of looks like a medal. It is, it's very true, but at the same time, orders, so stuff like this, was given for higher levels of achievement. So think of a, you know, like, well, yeah, basically think of a Medal of Honor, right? In the United States, we have a Medal of Honor. It's called a medal, but because it's the highest thing, in USSR version, it will be called an Order of Honor, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, who knew? So to earn an order, you had to be either have a repeated heroism or repeated achievements or who knows what. But actually, so that is the difference. So let's actually start from the highest thing that I have on here on this board, and I'll probably speed some of this up, is the Order of Victory. And here is how it mounts. And keep in mind, if you were the person who was issued this, you were, I believe, only one of 11 people in the world. Oh God, this thing is really in there. Who would get it? Oh, God. All right, folks, I tried taking this thing off of this cardboard, but I think it's counter-threaded. So I got it real tight in there. I really don't want to keep messing with it and possibly breaking this. I do have Edward here as a witness. So the bottom line is I cannot take this thing off. But here's the bottom line. This is a fake. This is a duplicate, a replica. The real thing was ordered by the actual Joseph Stalin to celebrate the USSR's victory over, over Nazi Germany, World War II. And this thing, I mean, it's all kept in the museum, so you guys would not be able to, I would not be able to own one. There's a whole articles and actual videos about this thing, but it was the most opulent thing that anybody could ever be awarded in the USSR. And if this thing was real, it would be the whole thing was made out of platinum. These would be real diamonds. These would be real rubies. This would be a combination of gold, platinum, silver with the little diamonds in here. Yeah, so obviously for a mere mortal like myself, there's no way I could ever afford the real deal, because I think a couple of them, or maybe one of them, got sold on a private market at some point. And this thing was, I don't know, like millions of dollars, even not for the historical value, but the fact of the matter is that this thing was giant, heavy, was only given to the top generals, and yeah, I mean, I'll post some stuff on it on the display, but on the monitor for you guys. But yeah, this is like the highest of the highest. No way anybody could ever buy one that's a true collector. But basically, you have the Kremlin with the, inlaid in gold, and this Pobeda, that means victory. So it's an Order of Victory, the highest award that USSR would ever bespoke, award to its top generals, marshals. And obviously Joseph Stalin got one. The funny thing is that Leonid Brezhnev, who did fight in World War II, but he did not earn this due to his achievements. When he became the general secretary of the Communist Party, he awarded one to himself, but then after his death, it got taken away, because I guess when he was alive, nobody was going to say, Mr. Brezhnev, you can't award this to yourself. Your achievements, although good, did not reach the levels of like grand victory. But so he awarded one to himself. And you guys know the whole Brezhnev thing where he would just award himself medals. But anyway, here we go. Oh, I wish I could award this cat a medal for being the best cat in the world. But anyway, all right, yeah, so this, I'm sorry, I wish I could show it to you, but I guess this thing will always live on this board, and by the time I decide to take it off, it's probably going to have to break the cardboard. So speaking of the top generals, top marshals, so the interesting thing in the USSR, you could be a general, but the highest rank the military person could achieve is the Marshal of the USSR, basically the top 5-star general. And we have this. Now, this is also a replica. This is not a real deal. when I say replica, it's not even like it's not made of precious metals, but this was the Marshals Star. So if you were lucky enough, or if you're skilled enough to earn the rank of a Marshal of the USSR, you were given this, and in real world, this would have been gold with real diamonds. And the idea here is that it's not an award like you earn a medal or an order. This was worn on your necktie and your military uniform, obviously on your parade uniform. I don't know why the video stopped. And this was just a rank, just a symbol of distinction. All right. Now, from there, you know, these things you could buy some real ones, and I'm not exactly sure which one how exactly you would wear it, because there's a thing in here and there's a thing in here. I did buy these both things on eBay. This was, I think, a couple $100 for this, and this was like, I mean, it's obviously it's not, it's plastic and possibly glass, I'm not sure, but it is heavy actually. So but I'm not sure how you would attach it, what's up with these two mounting things, but obviously, as you can see, I had no way of attaching it to anything other than a little string here. So there you go. That's, I do have a book about all the marshals of the USSR. It's kind of an interesting read. Kind of it lists all their awards, but all my books right now are in storage, because when we had a new baby, we had to move a lot of the stuff, and I don't have the room to keep all this stuff. So this is that. Now the following two things, you guys probably recognize some of them, but these are not real. You know, I could probably take at least one of them off, because I tried and it's pretty easy. So these things, so this is the Hero of the USSR. Here you can kind of see how I drilled through it. Oh, come on. I guess I did a really good job making sure that these things don't fall off. Because that was one of my things, was like I was really afraid that one of these days they would start like just falling. So I really drilled small holes and make sure that they're really secure in there. Oh, come on, coming out. Come on out. Come on. And it's threaded too, so I have to literally like unscrew this thing. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we have two versions of this. So this, those of you who are old enough who lived through a Cold War, you probably saw on TV a lot of high-ranking Russian Soviet military people who sported this, and several of them would sport several of these. So this is what's called the Hero of the Soviet Union, and this is a replica, of course. It is not made of gold, but if it was real, it would be made of solid gold. Had a red ribbon. Here on the back, it's a pretty high quality replica. It says Monetny Dvor over here, which basically means it's, God, I'm trying to think of the word. It's the same government organization that prints coins. And I can't think of the American equivalent, basically. Oh, it's a U.S. Mint. There you go. It's the U.S. Mint. So this is Monetny Dvor. That's a Soviet version of basically coin production. So they would be the same ones. Now here it says Geroi SSSR, which means hero of the USSR. And here there's a number. All orders, so it's an interesting thing also to talk about. All orders had a number, and you would get a book that would basically outline, called Ordenskaya Knishka, which means basically a book of orders. That would give you, and I do have an example of one, not in this one, but in some of the future ones. And basically the number would be recorded, and God forbid you need a replacement, or you lost it or it got stolen, you could get a replacement with the same number. That was, I know you guys can probably see, but this one is 4749, so 4,000, and they were sequential basically. and you would have to obviously prove that you are the, the recipient of this, but you could get a duplicate. And the real one's duplicate would be printed the same number, but it would have a D, Cyrillic D here. So you had a version of the military, which was just a star, and you had the same thing for civil achievements. Same thing, it would be made of gold, and here on the back, it would say Герой социалистического труда, which means hero of the social labor. So this would be given to like an inventor or some sort of a cosmonaut or something that's non-military, and you would also have a number. And I'm sorry guys if you having a hard time seeing it, so that would be this. So this one is number 18274. There's obviously a lot more of, I think, of the civil version of this than the military. But the funny thing is that in the USSR, every medal, every order, you could get multiples. So you could be a triple hero of the USSR. You could be quadruple. I think there are some that who got the same thing 5 times. And you'll see, like even on here, like I know we haven't got to this, and I think I'm going to skip to the next video to talk about the rest of these things. But basically, you could have multiples of the same thing. So if you have repeatedly done something, you could get 20 of the same medals. So you can technically have a chest full of medals, and they would be the same medal. But that's just how USSR was. Like they didn't give like any sort of like a V device or a stars that would go, or like a oak leaf or something, or like in the Nazi Germany where they had, you know, 20 different versions of the Knights of the Iron Cross, and they would give like a Knight's Cross, and there would be like some sort of like you would only wear like the highest one. No, in the USSR you could be given 25 of the same medal as long as you keep doing the same kind of thing over and over and over again, and you could wear chest full of exactly identical medals. And a lot of the veterans did. Now it does look cool, but at the same time, for a society, once again, that had shortages of bread, that couldn't feed or paid citizens very well, yeah, why that was the norm, I don't know, but that's just how it is. All right, folks, I'm trying not to make this way too long, but so far we've only covered these 4 things. I'm going to cut the video, and we're going to start with the next one. See you, everybody.